Hello, my name is Andrew Bollinger, and today I'll be doing my final presentation for my Mind and Body Stewardship class, or my health class. And today I'll be doing my presentation on staying safe sexually. So, if it'll, for my intro, what I'll be going over today, I'll be going over like the benefits of abstinence, about STDs, about preventing pregnancy, and about proper consent. So some of the big benefits you have of abstinence and whatnot is, with abstinence, if you like saying no to sex and not doing any of that, there's 100% rate of you have zero pregnancy scares, no rape allegations, you don't ever have to worry about STDs, and you don't especially if you're Christian or if you have moral beliefs, then you don't have to feel bad at all for doing that. And I'm sure your parents obviously tell you no or don't sleep around and whatnot. So like me, I don't like for a lot of different reasons, but there's so many upsides to just staying abstinent, or at least until your marriage and whatnot. So, and then a big one is rape allegations. So a lot of the time, or a decent amount of time today, people will get accused of rape or something like that, onto it just for the reasons if they didn't get 100% consent, or if something happened, and um if you don't have sex, you don't sleep around, then you don't have to worry about this at all. So for STDs, there's so many different STDs out there. There's a lot of oral, there's a lot of genital ones. Here are three pretty common ones today, I think. So there's age and some of the symptoms of this. You can get fever, chills, rash, night sweats, muscle aches, sore throat, fatigue, swollen lymph nodes, and mouth ulcers. And then for herpes, you can get pain around the genitals and bumps or blisters around the genitals or whatnot. And then others. And then for syphilis, you can get a sore throat, patchy hair loss, headaches, weight loss, and muscle aches. And all of these things, I believe, are treatable, and you can go to the doctor and whatnot. But these come from people sleeping around they're shared, or they're a sexually transmitted disease. And so if you get tested, or you want to get tested before and after everyone you've slept with, so that you know that you're not A, haven't gotten it, or B, aren't spreading it around if you do have it. So the next one I'm talking about is preventing pregnancy. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. One, condoms are a very effective way. And so they're a little rubber you wrap around your willy. Um, and these also prevent a lot of STDs as well. So then there's an IUD, which goes inside the female, I believe, and stops her from getting pregnant. I'm not exactly sure how. There's a vasectomy, which it I think the guy goes to a doctor, and then like they make it so that his sperm doesn't go with his ejaculate or whatnot, and so he doesn't end up like releasing what needs to fertilize the eggs in order to get someone pregnant. Then there's birth control, which is a little pill that girls take, but it is known to have side effects and whatnot. Um, but obviously, again, the number one best way, which 100% success rate, is abstinence and just not sleeping around. So the last thing I'll talk about is consent. And so consent is where both parties agree to form a sexual act. And so you can't get consent from someone if they're under the influence. That means if they're high, if they're drunk, or if they're delirious or something. then they can. That's not legal consent, and they can. Well, that's not okay. So another one is under duress. So this one would qualify, or this one would count like rape and whatnot. It's not. I mean, obviously, it's not going to consent. So I mean, if you're trying to perform sexual acts on someone like forcefully or with a gun or something like that, or maybe while they're asleep, I guess. So I mean, all of those are not okay. And then the third one, you really don't have consent when someone's in a position of power. So if I guess that would be more of like if the someone else is asleep and you do something, or maybe if like a teacher and a child, or just anyone and a child, or someone, maybe a boss and a coworker, so where the boss is like, if you don't do this for me, then I'll fire you or something. So this has been my presentation on staying sexually safe for my health class. Thank you.